Now let's compare two types of transcription, one fine and one simplified. The transcription on the left is the exact same interaction as the one on the right. Even visually, you can see the differences. The conversation is between Emma and Victor. Emma says, "So, you went to visit your daughter, and she lives in Van Nuys with her family?" The latter utterance is a question, but there is a 0.5-second gap, and Emma perceives this silence as an accountable absence of response from Victor. So she rephrases the question, "Does she have a family in Van Nuys?" Judging by Emma's further elaboration of what she means by family, she appears to believe that she needs to clarify for Victor what exactly she means. But Victor does not need this elaboration. He produces a response, "We went to visit our granddaughter," in overlap with elaboration. Emma doesn't even wait to hear the end of Victor's TCU. She acknowledges it with an aha as soon as she hears the grand part of granddaughter. In the finer transcript, and it is not very fine detailed version either, the recorded pronunciation is captured as closely as possible to the actual articulation without going phonetic. The word "so" is indicated as stretched with a slight exhale at the end. Extra emphasis is added to the words daughter, Van, and Nuys, as well as the word she later in the turn. The pause is measured to the 1/10 of a second. This is a half a second pause. And changes in the pitch are reflected as closely as possible through the use of arrows. In the simplified transcription, the actual pronunciations are reflected in the standard orthography. We don't see the stretch here, and we don't see the exhale at the end. The pauses are indicated, but without the precise measurement. And the intonation is recorded only with regard to the terminal rise or drop in the pitch. We could still analyze this simplified interaction with productive results. For example, with regard to overlap, where the presence of the pause is a marker of an accountably absent response. But we cannot speculate about how long a pause has to be in this context for it to be considered a non-response. As you can see, the finer your transcription is, the better analysis you will be able to produce. So let's talk about how you choose the level of detail in the transcription. First, you have to determine what kind of transcription constitutes the absolute minimum of detail for your research question to have an answer. In other words, you need to know why you are analyzing the data. If you are going to study overlaps and interruptions, you will have to measure your transcribed overlaps to the sound. But if you are going to look at the construction of professional identity, an approximate record of overlaps may potentially suffice. You need to estimate the level of transcription you are likely to need. However, it is very prudent to be more conservative and go for the finer detail at the beginning. As I mentioned before, until you gain quite a substantial level of experience, you have no feel for what you actually need. And nothing, please remember, absolutely nothing, can be deemed unimportant before you start the analysis. Now, let's practice using the conventions we just went over. Remember, transcription is the ultimate learn-by-doing skill, and listening to the lecture and taking notes on it is not even going to come close to being able to transcribe well. You need to practice, and you are going to make many mistakes and be quite inaccurate at the beginning. But the more you practice, the better you get. So let's get on with the practice.